I'm Sam Conniff. I'm an author, professional rule breaker, and sometimes pirate. Now more than ever, it seems to me that the question of leadership is more important than possibly it's ever been. The great institutions of our time feel flawed. Their ability to create and make the change anywhere near the kind of scale and pace of the problems that we face feels questionable. So the question is going to find itself on a next generation, with a next generation of leaders. The leaders that I feel like we've inherited have a 20th century model of command and control, of didactic rule. And in a century no longer defined by Newtonian physics, where one action has an equal counter-reaction in a complex and uncertain world, we need creative, emergent, and courageous leaders. And that's not the current rulebook. Perhaps rule breaking is no longer an irresponsible or risky thing to do, but that actually professional, practical, positive rule breaking is the only responsible route of change that we've got left. When you realise that the game is rigged, if you carry on playing by the rules, then you play to lose. And the combined world that creative entrepreneurship sits at the heart of, the ideas that are going to change the world and how they're connected to the methods of the politics, capitalism, decision-making, the whole meta-system as we know, it doesn't value creativity in the way that it says it does. It values conformity. And if you don't fit in, then you're not in. I didn't want to find myself in the self-congratulated, self-interested, late-stage creative career that starts to protect itself. I wanted to pull the ripcord and give away the secret and not encourage others to follow in the path that those have gone before. Because something much more fundamental, much more drastic is necessary. And I think we need an alarm bell to the young creators and entrepreneurs that are going to really try and do things differently. That doing things differently for them is going to really mean not following anything that's gone before. First act of breaking out, being a pirate, is not saying yes when you mean no. It's not trying to fit in when you mean to stand out. It's not accepting that conformity is what seems to designate everyone's success around here, when creativity is what's in your heart and what's going to be the heart of making a difference. The real teacher of this is not just your own experience, but others' experience. If you can engage in enough proximity to see the world in other people's eyes, that's, the heart of creativity is understanding perspective, right? And so there I am, suddenly. I thought I'd defined what being a pirate was, what being a professional rule breaker was. And I'm hearing from people who are using arts in social housing to change people's lives. I'm hearing from people who are using literature to turn around the safety of people on an estate and turn every inhabitant of a tough inner city estate into an author. Really rewriting the rules. And now this thing isn't mine anymore. Right? It's free, and probably that's the biggest creative act that I could have, because I had a fairly defined picture of where it would go, and maybe I didn't realize that was actually a limited vision of where it would go, or even a narrow vision of where it would go. Maybe that's part of this, the sentiment that I'm working with at the moment, that there is a creativity in letting go, of starting an idea and giving it freely to others. Perhaps there's something in this. My creative comrades, the best ideas we can possibly have, how big can we make them? And when we reach our own limitations of them, can they get bigger by giving them away to others? I think that's what I'm going through and experiencing. I think the reason I wanted to extend on this point is the gratitude I had to those young people that taught me so much extends now to this new community, and I'm probably learning more by giving ideas away than I ever was by having them on my own.